Let's be honest. Being generous is not always our first priority. We have our own wants and needs, and it is easy to make excuses for why we are not being generous. In a world often characterized by self interest and materialism, it is essential to pause and consider the profound impact that generosity can have on our lives and the world around us. This was one of the most important lessons that Jesus taught, and he was very quick to point out to his disciples when he observed generous people that he desired them to emulate. In Luke 21, 1 through 4, and Matthew 14, 13 through 21, we encounter two individuals who exemplified such generosity that they are both forever remembered in the gospel texts of the Christian scriptures as a testimony of how to live for all time. We can look at the woman who gave 2 coins in the temple and the boy who gave his lunch to feed 5,000 to understand why being generous can truly change the world for everyone. The woman who gave 2 coins. Luke 21, 1 through 4 says, "Looking up, he saw the rich people putting their gifts into the treasury, and saw a poor widow putting in 2 small copper coins. He said, 'Truly I say to you, this poor widow has put in proportionally more than all of them, for they put in gifts from their abundance, but she out of the poverty put in all she had to live on.'" In the Gospel of Luke, we encounter a moving story of a humble widow who offered 2 small copper coins as her contribution to the temple treasury. In the eyes of the world, her offering might have seemed inconsequential, but in the eyes of Jesus, it was a demonstration of unparalleled generosity. This passage teaches us that true generosity is not measured by the amount we give, but by the heart with which we give. The widow's gift was an act of faith and selflessness, and as she gave all she had to support a greater cause, her example reminds us that generosity is not limited to material wealth. It encompasses the willingness to share our time, love, and compassion with those in need. As we reflect on this passage, let us ask ourselves, are we willing to give sacrificially, not out of our abundance, but out of a genuine desire to make a difference in the lives of others? The widow teaches us that even the smallest acts of generosity can have a profound impact on the world around us. The boy who gave up his lunch. Matthew 14, 15 through 21 says, "When evening came, the disciples came to him and said, 'This is an isolated place, and the hour is already late. Send the crowds away, so that they may go into the villages and buy food for themselves.' But Jesus said to them, 'They do not need to go away. You give them something to eat.' They replied, 'We have nothing here except 5 loaves and 2 fish.' He said, 'Bring them here to me.' Then he ordered the crowds to sit down on the grass, and took the 5 loaves and the 2 fish, and looking up towards heaven, he blessed and broke the loaves and gave them to the disciples. And the disciples gave them to the people, and they all ate and were satisfied. They picked up 12 full baskets of the leftover broken pieces. There were about 5,000 men who ate, besides women and children." In the Gospel of Matthew, we encounter the miraculous story of Jesus feeding a multitude of people with just 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish that were offered selflessly by a young boy. This astonishing event serves as a powerful illustration of the abundance that flows from a generous heart. When faced with the hungry crowd, the disciples initially saw scarcity, but Jesus saw an opportunity for abundance, and this young boy saw an opportunity to be generous. He took what little was offered, blessed it, and multiplied it to feed the thousands. This miracle teaches us that when we are willing to share what we have, no matter how meager it may seem, God can work wonders through our generosity. Matthew 14, 13 through 21 reminds us that generosity has a ripple effect. The act of sharing not only meets immediate needs, but also inspires others to do the same. As we give of ourselves, we create a chain reaction of generosity that can transform communities and even the world. The stories of the widow's mite and the feeding of the multitude remind us that generosity is a force that can change the world around us for everyone. It transcends the boundaries of wealth and possessions, reaching into the depths of our heart to inspire selflessness and compassion. As we strive to emulate the examples set before us in Luke 21, 1 through 4, and Matthew 14, 13 through 21, let us remember that our acts of generosity, whether small or large, have the potential to transform lives, create abundance where there is once scarcity, and spread a spirit of kindness that reverberates through our communities and beyond. Let us embrace the call to be generous in all aspects of our lives, for in doing so, we become agents of positive change, contributing to a world that is more compassionate, loving, and harmonious for everyone. Thank you for listening today. If you enjoy the content and want to receive daily messages of hope, encouragement, motivation, and inspiration from Warrior's Mission, be sure to hit that subscribe button. By subscribing to this channel, you'll be the first to know about new releases, new prayers for you, and exclusive content that you won't find anywhere else. Plus, it helps us to know we're creating content that people love and want to see more of. So what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button and become a part of our community. All support is appreciated.